8:30 a.m. It's Sunday, May 25th. Kind of gray out there and very green. Are we in a hurry today, Rex? No, it's not in a hurry Sunday, so you're just gonna stroll out there really slow. He doesn't run out barking the way he does in Weymouth. Anywhere except for in Weymouth. All right, the deck is, I swept it a couple times, and now we're starting to get the stuff that the worms drop. A lot of winter moths up there, and it's rather damp. It looks like we had a little rain shower go by. So when you have rain showers to start the day, you know there's some energy around. Usually you have to wait for the heating of the day for rain showers, and boy, did we have them yesterday. Overachieving. I emptied out the year-long rain bucket, and we got pretty close to another 1/4 inch of rain and downpours yesterday. No hail. The freezing level was pretty low, but it did not hail, but it definitely overachieved in southeastern New England here. The rainfall amounts from that very turbulent, buoyant day yesterday. It looks like the most around Boston was 0.32 inches in Lexington, Massachusetts. And the most in southeastern New England, right here on Cape Cod, was in South Dennis, 0.28 inches. I am not aware who does the Coco Raz here in South Dennis, but we appreciate all the Coco Raz. I'm a member, but I'm all over the place, so I'm not a very good member. Temperature this morning is 53 degrees, and we have a breeze, but I think it's just a light enough breeze that I can get away without using my noise-canceling microphone. We really like the sounds of the birds. Yes, Eric, I know that I should get the Cornell app. I think I do have the Cornell app to identify all the different birds, but that's another thing. I stare at leaves and clouds and birds, and yes, I know. All right, what do I hear? I think I hear a cardinal and a chickadee and a sparrow. Is that right now? And some breeze. T-Rex, let's go on the back side of the house. So when the air is from the west, I go to the east side of the house. I'm in the lee of the water, and Rex likes it over here because it's closer to Anna's house right over there. Yeah, we are still dealing with this same system that went by last Thursday with a tremendous rain, and today would be day 4 with this system impacting us. It's about the 3rd multi-day system we've had in this merry month of May, thanks to that Greenland block and so much energy trying to come out of the deep south and into New England. And once again today, it is surf ski weather. Look at that blue sky at Hampton Beach on the Cinnamon Rainbows cam this morning. The swell is down to about 4 feet every 8 seconds. And there was one person on a stand-up paddleboard going over a little crest right there, and there was another surfer. I don't know where everyone is. What a beautiful day. And you see in the southern horizon, those clouds are thick, and those are the clouds that are right over me here on Cape Cod, where there was some rain around earlier in the day and some virga. So it's another day we're going to have to track scattered showers and ski weather. I don't know if anyone's hiking, but the summit of Mount Washington this morning, it's a cavernous looking webcam image at the observation deck. Once again, this is about the 6th day in a row with freezing weather and ice and snow, and looks like we picked up about another 1.5 inches of snow in the last 24 hours, so that gets us up to about 13.5 inches of snow this week. And all the snow this month of May has been this week, and the average for the month of May is a foot. So we picked up that plus some all in the last or 4th week of May. Wow, that's an achievement. Temperature on Mount Washington, by the way, is 27 degrees, so it's just holding steady right there in the mid-20s. The wind is from the west-northwest at 50 miles per hour, and it is still precipitating on Mount Washington. It was a light freezing drizzle and some ice pellets this morning. And the fact that it's so cold up in the sky means instability. Here are the temperatures at lower elevations along with the wind at about 7:30 this morning. You see at the very top of the map, it was 38 or 39 there at Jackman, Maine, and then you move south, Boston and Hyannis, both at 54 degrees, and Nantucket also in the mid-50s, low to mid-50s, very similar to the water temperature. And that water temperature at New Hampshire, by the way, was 49 degrees, in case you were wondering. And the air is coming more from the west-northwest today. So again, that's an offshore flow, and usually when you get an offshore flow, the nicest weather is at the beaches, but This has been an unusual couple of days with the so much energy aloft, energy being cold air. I talk about the buoyancy, so if you're 27 up about 6,000 feet and you're 54 down below, so that's more than a 25-degree gradient in the lower several thousand feet of the atmosphere, warmer air underneath colder air. That's buoyancy that creates the turbulence that creates these showers. And the radar, let's start with a national radar. It's always worse somewhere else. Another night of frightening weather, this time at more northern Oklahoma and Kansas into Missouri and northern Arkansas. Ongoing severe storms and flash flooding over the lower central plains. And that's the boundary between the hot air that's over the Gulf states and the chilly air that's penetrated most of eastern Canada and the northeastern United States. And we have waves of energy going along that boundary. And most of that kind of severe weather is going to keep on missing us to the south. Here is the map this afternoon at 2 o'clock from WPC, and our old low is spinning around to our northeast with these little orange dashed lines. Those are surface troughs, and those are little focuses of convergence near the ground, and that causes the lift, which causes the showers, but nothing like the heavy weather that's going on from Texas and points north, and then that front extends east well off to our south, and this next storm is going to go off to our south tonight and tomorrow. Waves of energy missing us to the south. And if we look right here at the northeast, not a lot going on, but I can close in on the radar in Norton. It's in clear air mode, and sure enough, there were raindrops right there on the beach on the north side of Cape Cod going out through Orleans and Eastham, moving off to the east fairly quickly. And so another day where you're going to have a mixture of sun and clouds, and it's more breezy this morning than it was yesterday. What a perfect day for the sailing of the Figawi. Troy made a little video for me. Hey, we talked about what is wind. Wind is AIR, moving from high to low pressure. That's a new one we came up with this week. And from the galley, he was pointed it out the window, and look at the splash coming right up onto the deck. He said, now this is sailing. And so he says the other boats must have been confused why the Lynx wasn't racing. Unfair advantage, I would say. The Lynx was built for speed, but so were these other yachts. And Steve Heslop for the Cape Cod Times did a great photo essay, so you can look at his website, or the Cape Cod Times rather, and Steve's posts of this really fantastic sailing weather yesterday. And it was fairly windy on the sound, but between the rain showers here in South Dennis, the wind really let up, and at times it was just gorgeous, overachieving temperatures with that west-northwest wind yesterday. Kate in Dartmouth says it was in the mid-60s yesterday, and Boston got to 62, Hyannis got to 62. That's what can happen when you have an offshore flow. The air kind of comes down from the higher elevations, and it warms as it sinks. So today, I don't know, I have a feeling it's not going to be as warm as it was yesterday, just by the feel right now with this chill. Let's go to the NAM high res and see if we see any rain or snow in the forecast today. Well, the showers are definitely fewer and further between. You see that 540 wintertime chill in the air over Maine, that 540 that's been near us for so many days in a row, resulting with that higher elevation snow. But there they are, little specks of rain right there in Cape Cod late in the day. The biggest weather looks like it's coming out of Canada into New York, doesn't it, and Vermont. But a lot of the day are not raining. But once again, when it does rain, it can rain pretty hard. And the temperature goes maybe from the low 60s down to the 50s, but overachieving in the temperature department. Then tonight, mostly quiet. And that 540 line is finally disappearing tomorrow, Memorial Day, Monday. Once again, just a couple of tiny specks, but once again, they're in southern New England. Look at that, right over northern Rhode Island, maybe a few specks on Cape Cod tomorrow afternoon. But I think most of our Memorial Day ceremonies and parades should be dry, just kind of need those April-like layers. It's going to be kind of chilly again, and if it does rain, you're in the 50s. Otherwise, it should be in the 60s. And this goes into now Tuesday. And on Tuesday, that 540 is finally gone, but we still have the 546. And look at that batch of rain coming across Pennsylvania. That's the low that we've been talking about for several days. A few days ago was supposed to be a nor'easter here on Wednesday. Most of the guidance has backed off, but that NAM for 2 o'clock Tuesday shows that rain pretty far north. So that's going to be the moving target and going forward after our Memorial Day weekend. And so why don't we go right to that too, using the GFS. I know that sound. That's the crow. Corvus, Brachyrhynchus, T-Rex. Where's that crow? Whenever I say that, T-Rex starts looking up and jumping up in the sky. The crow just went that away. We're going to do the GFS, okay, Steve? Yeah, you settle right down there. You get these sleepies out of your eyes. And here's the GFS, this low that's been with us so many days and kind of a couple of incarnations is up to about 1,002. And it's finally pulling out of southeastern Canada. And we have high pressure gradually building in, 1028 high. Now, when that high comes in tomorrow night, it may be cold enough that there could be a frosty spot or two in New England, perhaps some record challenging low temperatures, because that's more high barometer cold. That's when you get those inversions instead of the low barometer cold, which is so unstable. And we watch those systems one after another going off to our south and missing for the most part. But we have a boundary nearby, and there's going to be energy trying to come north, and there's still some cold resisting from the north. So that could create some energy around here Wednesday. I'm not high confidence that that system is going to completely miss like this. And then Thursday, it looks like we have at least a little bit of energy coming into New England with some scattered rain showers at all elevations. We perhaps are done with snow at our higher elevations until next October or so, or September. I don't see that 540 line, although it was there for a minute there in southeastern Canada. Now we get into Thursday and Friday, and it tries to warm up, but here comes a front. And so a warm front coming at us from the south, a cold front from the north will create showers, especially late Friday. And then the cold front gets right over southern New England, and we have low pressure developing on the front next Saturday. Oh, please, yes, no, sorry, Eric, New England dragway. It could be raining, pretty hard. That low now looks like it wants to be in the mid 990 millibar range. So low pressure, a lot of energy, hot coming in from the south, cold coming in from the north with downpours and thunderstorms here. Possible Saturday. This confidence is getting a little higher now as Saturday gets closer. On Sunday, that low is kind of weakening and wobbling. Another cutoff, cold, but not as cold. Upper level low next Sunday would keep the showers going. And that upper level low tries to linger into Monday. Now we're talking June 1st and 2nd, but then rapidly it lifts out. So all of a sudden on, let's see, Sunday the 1st, Tuesday the 2nd, Wednesday the 3rd, that's 10 days out. That's as far as we go, 240 hours. And that is a summertime pattern all of a sudden. Next, a week from Wednesday, it shows the 572 thickness, 570 to our north, and warm to hot air coming across all the way from Mexico up through the middle of the nation, where it's just hot without any severe weather. And then the flow comes down into New England. This is where we get our warmest, least humid air. And that would be a week from Wednesday. If this is accurate, we're going to end up being in the 80s to near 90 degrees by then. So suddenly summer should emerge. It has to change. This pattern can't last forever. And that is now way out on June 3rd. Okay, I think we're done with the weather. Don't cancel your plans. It's just chilly, and you got to be prepared for rain at any moment. My iris just about to bloom. The peony just about to bloom. T-Rex dragging me in your direction, Anna. So let's see what we're going to leave you with. And more yesterday. I went down to Riverview, bait and tackle there in South Yarmouth, and it was packed with people gearing up for fishing. I was there to look for some floats I could use for the swimming area, but they didn't have any. But I got to talk to Sarge about the worms he was culling there, sea worms, and he gave me a state of the fishing report. And then I went down to the Packet Landing, and the fishermen were all landing fish, and it was windy there at the south side of Cape Cod, and that wind on the south side of Cape Cod was bucking up against near calm air and rising air over Route 6, and that is what focused the energy, and that's why we had so many rain showers yesterday. And so a really dynamic day, and I thought I was done. I went down to the beach, and there was somebody, after I had concluded my and more, what I thought anyway, someone shows up with an SUP, puts his dog on there, first time, I think his name is Duke, and Duke sat right down on the SUP, and that was so pretty and calm. And I thought we were done with the rain, and then we were going out to dinner, and I was sidetracked because another downpour came off of Cape Cod Bay. So we went down to Corporation Beach, like everyone does and wants to watch the sunset, and it was almost a faint rainbow, but everyone was gathering, admiring that sunset on the backside of another shower. I wish I could have shown you the cumulus as they were exiting off to the southeast, but I couldn't quite get that imagery. But all that happened after I concluded. So the conclusion of the and more is going to be me down at Fallon's Pond, running the time lapse with the music. And not in a hurry Sunday. I try to leave myself not so much editing, but there's always something that keeps me going. T-Rex, we're done with the weather part. We'll bring you over to Anna's later. Here's the and more from yesterday. Thanks for watching. 10:10 a.m. on Saturday. We're barely done publishing today's Out the Door Weather and More when we're working on tomorrow's, which is now today. It's Sunday. This is looking back 24 hours ago at Saturday, and we've got that bubbling cumulus cloud. Look at them, so pretty. Sunshine on the south side of Cape Cod warms us up, and then the air starts to rise. And it looks almost like one of those classic Route 6 clouds. We're right over the middle of the Cape. The air is rising. Buoyant atmosphere today. Sun, cloud, shower, sun, cloud, shower. Lather, rinse, repeat kind of day. When I was 29, it was a very good year. It was a very good year for TK to misbehave and have a cake party on his birthday, because that's what I like to do. I see you right over there under the blue sky, William Albert Kelly. Happy birthday. And then over my head, of course, I got a big dark cloud. Hey, what do you want to do? Come on, let's play something. Well, before my time, there was a railroad station right here. Now it's Cape Cod Rail Trail over Bass River, if you go in that direction. And right here used to be the town hall. Dennis Bicentennial, 1974 and 1976. I do remember that. That was a big celebration. We were voted an all-American town or something like that. How many towns are not all-American towns? There's a real old cemetery here. And this was the town hall when I was younger. It has since moved over to now it's Kroll Road and 134. So this is the spirit of the weekend right here, Memorial Day weekend. So it looks like we are going to have a ceremony here in South Dennis this weekend. So every village green has something like this going on right now. And we've got the classic Route 6 cloud right over the middle of Cape Cod. The air comes in from the southwest and the maximum heating's right over the middle of the Cape. And we are going to get raindrops out of these bubbling cumulus clouds. Not sure how many and when. There's a sinking air over Nantucket Sound. And we're going in that direction. Let's go over, check out Bass River. Liberty. Oh. And the multitudes are here, so there's no avoiding this. Everywhere you go. So far the weather's turning out a little better than they said, hey? And there's Bass River. Let's go scalloping. And we used to jump off this bridge. Can't do that anymore. Says who? Bachelorette trip. Buy the bride a drink. Aria. Congratulations. Glad the weather's working out for you. Looks like everybody wants to go fishing. There's hardly any parking spots. What's your name? Where you from?
Patrick. Call me Sarge. I'm here in Yarmouth.
Call you what?
Sarge.
Sarge. Hey, Sarge. Yeah, my name's Tim the Weatherman, and I'm a fan of worms.
Okay.
So where do these worms come from?
These worms come from the Gulf of Maine. They pick them up there. The guys who used to pick them did them all year, and now they only do 3 to 4 months a year because they organized and became a union. So they'll do so many months of sea worms, so many months of blueberries, so many months of lobsters. Yeah, figure it's like a night crawler with attitude because they got pinchers on the end. You'll learn. Yep.
They do.
Yep.
Yeah.
They sure do. Yep.
So do they grow in this stuff, or is it just for packaging?
No, this is seaweed. This is what they live in. They're actually in the water along the edges.
Yeah.
And what we do is we go down here and we pull seaweed off at low tide out here, wash it off, and then when we're packing them, this way we.
So you got 3 different piles there. What are the 3 different piles?
Small, medium, large.
This one looks large.
Yeah. Well,
Cool. And what about if I have earthworms? Are they good for anything?
earthworms,
Red
great for fishing,
wigglers?
great for fishing.
You've never seen a bigger seaworm, have you now?
I didn't know they had to come from Maine. I thought maybe we could do them on Cape Cod.
You probably could, but again, it is tireless work.
There's never been the business on Cape Cod for them. It's always been community.
Interesting. Wow, there's an opportunity, I think. If we could save a... No.
Put it out there.
It's like opening up a new pizza shop or something. Oh, cool. All right. Thanks a lot, Sarge.
You're welcome, buddy.
Really interested in that. Is that a good crowd here today, man? Everyone's fishing.
Tis the season.
Are the stripers in?
Stripers are in.
Yeah.
They're hitting more on the bay side than they are on the sound side. Sound side down toward the canal, Riverview Bay, New Seabury, that general vicinity.
Yeah. Kind of coming north.
Yes.
Yeah.
You may try off the beach at night.
What are they hitting on, you know?
Squid,
Yeah.
sea clams, chopped up mackerel.
Cool.
To tentative now.
Yeah, I was at Nantucket the other day. The mackerel are so thick in the water.
Yes. If you can get a live mackerel and throw on there, yeah, you're guaranteed.
Cool. You guys got live mackerel?
No, we got frozen.
Yeah,
Wish.
cool. All right.
We got to call it Connects out in the water to get some live ones.
That was awesome. Thanks.
right,
I never know what you're going to find when you go out the door.
This is
Weather
true.
and more. And you can always attempt to book a charter on these boats down here at Packet, Lindsay, Liz, but they're pretty much booked out before the summer even begins. Let's see if we got any harvests going on down here. Nice. Almost due south now. Good breeze for the Figawi sailboat racers, except for the race into the wind. But definitely a nicer day than we thought. Savage. Picking up to the southern. It slows down and then rises over the mid-cape. That's how that all happens. Most of the boats are out right now. Yeah, they're building in this direction too. So west-northwest aloft, south-southwest at the surface. That's convergence. Converging air at the surface rises into that very buoyant atmosphere with cold air aloft, and raindrops are imminent. Is that? You concur? That's what I thought you said. And just like I say about everything, no matter how good your lawn is, someone else is better. No matter how nice your car is, someone else is nicer. And no matter how big your boat is, someone else's is bigger. Last year at this time we came and watched the Osprey trying to have their nest up there. The utility company doesn't want it up there. But the utility company may have won this season. But we know there are plenty of Osprey nests. Focus, Tim, focus. My dad used to figure out a way to go to Hyannis, making only right turns. Beautiful view here. Changing by the second. Just about noontime now, and we've got the first shower, the diurnal shower developing right there over Yarmouth, sliding right at us. So we should have raindrops here in a second. Bass River Marina. 2 seconds later. It's changing so fast. Good thing I have a time lapse down there. Looks like the shower is crossing Fallon's Pond right now. Moving very fast. Thing about this kind of weather, if it does rain, I already mentioned that, didn't I? It should be gone in a few minutes and the sun will come back, and so on and so on and so on. So it certainly looks and feels more like Memorial Day right now here, even though it's a chilly breeze. But just look at all the signs of life here. Freedom Boat Club. Right here. You don't have to own a boat. You can just sign up. It's our eagle. It's the Osprey. Yeah, we got Osprey. Raising the family. Oh, I hear the Osprey. Where is it? I mean, I see that one, but I don't think that's the one calling out right now. Some are what? Tarp is on the field at Fenway. Pretty good downpours going through Boston. We just had one go just to our north here on the south side of Cape Cod. And there's a baby egret. Let's see if we can't get a closer look at that baby. Well, I say it's a baby, but out this door are 2 egrets. I mean, they're usually really tall, right? These ones are not really tall. That's why I'm just assuming that these are baby egrets having their lunch. I just had a great ribeye, and that shower did move along right up Route 6 and missed us to the north. Meanwhile, it's pouring downpours near Boston, and we still have sinking air over Nantucket Sound. How's the Figawi race going? Should be pretty good, I think.
Hello TK, this is Troy aboard the schooner Lynx. We're sailing under the command of our great captain Sean Kenneth, and we're doing some pretty good sailing. There are Figawi race boats on their way to Nantucket from Hyannis. No worries, but yeah, exactly. Well, we do killer sailing out here, so this is a sideways shot of some of the boats.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a double header. We'll see. We're doing better down here. Yay. Love birds. That was an awesome lunch. Now it's nap time. Look at this right here. The blue sky and flat pond. Weather is hard, isn't it? Going out the door now. What a fascinating sky day. I can't wait to see all the time lapse. So it just rained a little bit. So the deck is damp, but it's drying off just as quickly. My webcam was... Hello to you too. Is that a wren? So turbulent a sky, and between the showers, extreme beauty. Wait till you see the time lapse. Thank you, Michael McCormick. He just rebooted my cam after those thunderstorms the other day. You'd think I would know how to do that. Yeah, feels like 70 degrees outside, sitting here right in the sun, until that next cloud comes in again. Rex, stop. Stop. Oh, I get pea envy. Another better peas than mine. Lisa's got better peas than mine. And potatoes in a pot. Gross potatoes in a pot. Garlic in a bag.
Yeah, I had a friend that did them in a bag and hung them on a desk.
And then, check this out. She's growing her summer squash in a pot too. Look at baby little summer squash. She says they're gonna come right down and cascade over. I'm gonna cascade over here when everything starts ripening.
Yeah.
Those tomatoes are just about ahead of every tomato on Cape Cod. Sweet peppers. Oh, I definitely got a little gardening envy going on over here. And a closer look at the oak leaf. And some of the leaves are almost completely chomped, and I think that's primarily that little green worm, which turns into the winter. And this is where Gail and Frank Vitale retired to after Waltham. And we lost Frank a few years ago, and now Gail just joined her husband in their eternal resting place. The Vitale's built this wall, and he used to have the best canna lilies right here. And look at it, these wild strawberries are everywhere this year. Never seen so many. So Frank would grow his vegetables and Gail would cook them. Hope the new people don't mind that I'm gonna peek in their backyard. So many a good times here. Gail organized all the Easter egg hunts in the neighborhood. What fun memories. Rest in peace, Mrs. V. Enough to make puddles. Another little rinse cycle. Didn't think it was gonna rain this hard today on Cape Cod. Just stopped raining for a second, but I looked at the radar. Oh my goodness. I don't have the best view. These trees are a lot bigger than when we were little. But there is some serious echo yellow coming across the canal, coming right at us. My favorite thing is working out in the yard. It's Saturday, of course. Now, this bucket has been out here all year, and it's been overflowing for more than a few weeks. So I'm going to empty this bucket and start fresh. Clean it out. And where am I going to empty it? On the worms. Bucket emptied. It's a Benny's bucket. I don't think we even have Benny's anymore. Is that right? So let's see if I don't accumulate a little bit more rain in it today. Starting fresh with a new rain bucket. Thanks for visiting, Peter. 4:45. The sun is trying. How about a rainbow? Use a rainbow today. T-Rex, wake up, you lazy bones. It stopped raining. Boy, did it stop raining. What a remarkable day. Was it Mark Twain that said, if you don't like the weather in New England, wait 5 minutes? It has changed every 5 minutes all day long. Just outstanding. Look at the color now. It just rained, I don't know, about maybe 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch of rain. Still, there's the backside of the rain way over there. Still raining now over Nantucket Sound. Looks like finally did get some raindrops. Calm Bass River. Beauty. We get our webcam back today. Michael McCormick rebooted. We lost it after the thunderstorm the other day. Let's go down the beach. Finish out the day. Show some time lapse. We conclude the Not in a Hurry Sunday and more with a stop to admire the roses on this tremendous dynamic Saturday. Probably not even done with the rain showers, but I think you've had enough video, or I've had enough video for the day. You can see the sky and the water. How fun when the water is a mirror. Fallon's Pond. The rinse cycle with the pollen. You can see the pollen on the water right there. The house I was just at is right up in those trees. So time for a time lapse. Weymouth first, whole day time lapse from Weymouth. Just these bursts of energy aloft. Red Sox game was delayed. How'd they do? Doubleheader. Ominous. Auntie M type sky there for a few minutes with those raindrops. And I'm assuming also a beautiful sunset. And here on Bass River, where I got the cam back about 2 o'clock. So I'm not sure how much of a time lapse we have, but if we don't have a time lapse, there's nothing wrong with what we're looking at right now. Wonderful. Thank you, Captain Spacetime, with the piano music. Up and down and round and round. Not in a Hurry Sunday concludes Memorial Day Monday. Remembering those that served for our nation. Ceremonies probably dry. Usually around 11 o'clock in the morning. Talk to you tomorrow.